Hello and welcome to the first episode of the Nintendo Podcast System with your host Matthew Gibson and Gorney.
Hello.
So this is the first podcast, though technically second for us because I accidentally forgot to record on the first one.
You are recording now, aren't you?
Yeah, yeah, it should be. Um, but yeah, so we just finished it, and I was talking to Gorney, and and I was like, oh, thank you so much for doing this for me. And he said, oh yeah, no worries. And I just went off, and I just realised I didn't even record it at all. And I felt so sad because that's like the first time I've ever done something kind of productive. So
That's fair enough.
yeah.
Hopefully no mistakes from now on. It should be alright.
Yeah. No, I did like what you sent me. Of I can't remember his name. It's like I know the actor. It's like you sent me of the actor just going like, alrighty then, like just
Alrighty. Oh, Jim Clary.
that's
Clary.
that's it.
That's it. Jim Clary. Yeah.
I'm very bad with actors.
Yes. Yeah.
They're very good with Nintendo games, so there's a fine line there, I guess. So let's go into the news section. And here we are at the news section. So, should I start it off by saying that Kirby and the Rainbow Paintbrush is finally heading its way to Europe on May the 8th, which I'm very excited for.
Ooh. May the 8th, eh?
Yeah, so almost at least 3 months after Japan got it, and about 2 months after America got it. So it's kind of unfair.
We're always one of the last ones to get it, aren't we? These new games.
Sort of, like, I mean, at least we get Inazuma. You know.
True.
So that's
we did get Captain Toad earlier than the others, actually, saying that was the only one I know of recently, anyway. But
No, I swear we got that last as well. Japan got it like November, and then I think US got it the same week Smash came out over here.
Oh, okay.
So, though we did get Smash Wii U earlier than Japan, by a week. But
Really? Oh.
yeah, just by a week. But then again, it's always America always comes before Europe.
Yeah.
But yeah, oh well. So I'm very excited for that. But the trouble is that because it's in May, I mentioned this in our unrecorded pilot episode. I'm in a financial crisis, because that makes a total of 3 games to come out in May. In addition, there's like a lot of Amiibo that I really want to get. I'm up to 12 now. Yeah, and then of course there's GameCube controllers, GameCube adapters, just a lot of stuff that I really want. And plus, and the games are right in the middle of my GCSEs as well. Like Kirby is just before my first exam, and then I would say Current Home Steam and Splatoon are in a little bit in there.
About May time, aren't they? They're sort of
like Steam is middle of May.
Splatoon 15th, yeah.
Yeah, and Splatoon. I would say 29th. That would be most logical if you think about it, because it's not going to be 15th. So if it's going to be 22nd or 29th, it's got to be 29th. So
True. There are a couple other releases coming this month. Actually, we've got Mario Party 10 this Friday.
Oh, that's right. Are you gonna get that?
I've got it pre-ordered already. Hopefully, it should come on Friday because we've got an event on Saturday. So
I can't get it for 2 reasons. One, that I'm not necessarily massively interested in it.
Okay.
Because granted, I'm still in school, I don't get many people around. When I do, it's normally family, and I might want to play Mario Party, like Bowser Party or anything. But everybody else just wants to play just the mini games, not necessarily the party. So I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's good. I think because I helped run the Street by Southampton events. It's quite a good one 4-hour events because we could get a lot more people involved.
Yeah, I
Have like
think
sort of teams going.
yeah, a good amount of people are doing it for events. But yeah, and I can't get it for pre-mentioned financial crisis.
Yeah.
But then again, I am getting Inazuma 11 Go Chrono Stones a week later.
Yeah, I did see
Very
that coming
excited
out.
for that. I love Inazuma 11. Don't know why. I'm so bad at football, but
Which one are you getting though? Are you getting
um,
Thunder Flash or Wildfire?
I want to get Thunder Flash because in the anime they took it from Wildfire. So you would get, I forget his name, but it's the orange hair guy. It's Teo in Japan. I know the Japanese names, but not the English.
See, I don't know a lot about it. I mean, I've only seen bits and
mm,
pieces. I know the gist of the game,
yeah.
and I've seen a little tiny bit of the anime because it was on the anime channel on the Nintendo 3DS.
Mm. Oh yeah, that's
That
right. I watched it because I've watched it kind of a lot before. So
I,
it's all well news. Um,
yeah,
no, but I
there
am
is.
very excited for it, and because Find the Flash is slightly different from the anime because you get a different companion as opposed to the orange-haired guy. So that's
There
kind
is
of exciting.
there is two more releases that are coming. There's Mario vs Donkey Kong Tipping Stars coming out Friday for
Mm,
both the Wii U and 3DS.
yeah.
It's interesting. I mean, I don't know if you've played the Mario vs Donkey Kong games before.
Um, I played Mini Land Mayhem. It was actually fun, but I wouldn't. I'm not crazy about tipping stars because yeah,
It's one of those. They're trying to get into more of the custom make your own level sort of thing,
yeah.
and the whole tipping stars thing is people rate your level and you get extra
I
stars for
think
doing
that's
it.
great, but I
It's an
don't
interesting
see.
enough concept, but I don't know if it'll
Yeah,
be as interesting as people want it to
yeah, and
be.
like it's not interesting to like just do the same thing, I guess.
Hmm.
Um, oh, Punch Out Wii was released for
Yes,
the
they
eShop, yeah,
they'll be
on
releasing that
Thursday.
soon. That's good. That's
Um,
definitely on the list.
yeah, I would like to get that as well, but then again, financial crisis, it's a
Well,
big
if you
problem.
can get it while it's cheap, I think they're starting out
Yeah,
at
but
£10
still.
or something. I just picked up Metroid Prime,
The
and
trilogy.
yeah, the trilogy
I
for it because I thought a good
I did
bargain
want
for
to get
ten
it.
pounds.
Mm.
But
Um,
it's a pretty decent game.
yeah,
I've
it's
played
pretty
through them
bad.
before, but the first one I've never completed like 100%, so I've got to give it a go as a challenge and see
I
what
have
happens. But
never played a Metroid game in my life.
you've never played Metroid? Oh
I know,
no!
like I'm kind of ashamed to be like call myself a Nintendo fan because for starters, I've never played a Metroid or a Star Fox or an F-Zero.
Oh my god!
I know, I'm so
You've
disappointed in
never
myself.
played a Star Fox game.
I know, I no, I want to get the Wii U one. I'm slightly interested in Star Fox
I
3D.
would suggest get the 3DS one and play that one. It
Yeah,
is the
but
best
then
one.
again, financial crisis is here,
Yeah. Okay.
so
There's only one
um,
other game I know of coming out, and that's next month. I think the first, possibly, Xenoblade Chronicles 3D for the
April
3DS, which is
2nd,
the remake of the
actually.
one that was on the Wii U.
Yeah, April
So
2nd.
April 2nd.
Yes, don't test me on my release dates. I know.
He knows when it's out. He knows when it's out. So,
um, yeah, it looks interesting, but I don't know because I like playing Shulk in Smash.
mhm.
Um, but I don't know. It looks interesting, and it looks to do. Um, it, it's sort of a good title as a new 3DS exclusive, but
Yeah,
I could see myself sort of playing it, but I don't know. It just seems a bit too big for me, and that's why I might not get.
I think
Um,
the interest that's been gained from Shulk being in Smash Bros might give the game a bit more selling
yeah,
power there, but
yeah.
other than that, I'm not really sure on it
Mm.
myself.
Are you gonna get X Xenoblade Chronicles X?
It looks a lot better than the one.
Mm.
Yeah, I must admit, it
But
has interested me more than this one.
mm,
But yeah, we have to see. We have to see.
but yeah, I'll probably wait a bit for around my birthday, which is in September as well.
Okay.
So that covers it for release date.
There's
I'm trying to
there's one thing I have added for the code name Steam game
yeah.
that's coming out. You'll get a Abraham Lincoln me on the Street Pass Plaza via Spot Pass to celebrate its release.
Really?
Yes, apparently
This
everyone's going to
surprises
be able to get
me.
it.
I haven't heard of this.
Yeah, what a brilliant idea. Have a bit of
Yeah,
Abraham Lincoln just come onto your DS and stroll around and you can play the
that's
games with him.
that's pretty cool. I also want to mention Splatoon as well in our unrecorded pilot episode. We talked about a possible leak of a Splatoon amiibo
Yeah,
due out on May
it's
20th, 29th actually. Um,
okay. I've not seen anything else off this, so I don't know if it's
um,
true or not.
so apparently Dakotum 4711 he posted a tweet about Splatoon on the eShop and it said that's listed under amiibo. So
Okay.
it may not be that it could mean Splatoon amiibo is a thing, or at least Splatoon is amiibo compatible with
I'd
current
like to have
amiibo.
thought so. I mean, even if you can just get in,
I
you
would
can.
love Splatoon amiibo, but I just hope there's enough stock because I want to get
Hmm.
both of them. Like I want to get the boy and the girl.
Okay.
That's the
Cool.
thing. Like you go, yeah, okay. What else? Oh, did you hear that? March 10th was Mario Day.
Mario Day. Yeah,
Yeah,
I only just
yeah,
worked it out like a day after.
like,
I was like, why is
yeah,
it Mario Day? It was like,
because it's like Mar 10.
oh,
Yeah, so
yeah. So
um,
yeah, Mario is actually March 10th. Yeah. Okay.
yeah, so yeah, um, yeah. Did you do anything special for that?
I did have a quick go on the DS version of Super Mario 64,
Oh,
which I went
hmm,
back to. Um, I might start another playthrough through that, but I
hmm,
have got like another 6, 7 games I'm sort of playing through at the same time, so it's a bit difficult. But yeah, it's quite good fun to
hmm,
go back and want to play some of those games,
yeah. Um,
just on a special day.
well, I got a Peach amiibo on that day, so then again, that was before I found out that was Mario Day. So, um, so coincidence. And I said I was gonna play Mario and For Glory, but I couldn't because I was just did other shit.
Okay.
Sorry for saying. um, I think a good thing to round this up is hold on. Yeah, it should be all right. Um, Game Freak's new title, Tembo the
Oh,
Badass Elephant.
okay.
Yeah,
Oh
so
yeah, with I did see the
yeah,
little postcard that was released of
yeah,
this from
so everybody was wondering what there was, and then apparently it's this game is sort of like a crazy platformer thing.
because it was
Um,
co-creation with Sega or something.
yeah, collaboration with Sega. But here's the thing: it's coming to Xbox One, PlayStation 4, I think PC, but not coming to Wii U.
Not
Which
coming to
is
Wii U.
which is really baffling because it's Game Freak and hold on, I just got the
Hmm.
article here. In an interview with Game Reactor, the director and character designer at Game Freak, James Turner, has explained how mock-up concept art led to the choice of platform title was to be released on. When I was writing the presentation documents for this game, I drew a mock-up poster and I put the Steam, PlayStation and Xbox logos at the bottom. It seemed to fit and happened to stick that way. We thought about other hardware during development, but our hands were pretty full with those three platforms.
Oh, that's a bit
I mean,
shocking, really, though, isn't it?
yeah,
Being the second party Nintendo sort of
yeah,
like franchise, really, in theory, with Pokemon and that.
yeah.
They're still a
Um,
free agency, really, I guess. So.
yeah, but information on the potential for other platforms is classified right now. Our main mission is deployment on PC, PS4, and Xbox One. Please look forward to Tembo. It's going to be great. We had a lot of fun making Harmonite, which I like myself, and I'm very happy how it turned out. It's really fun. Everyone reading this, check it out on the 3DS eShop. If you get the groove of it, I guarantee you have a good time. Those last few secret stages are super hard. Remember to take a break from time to time and rest your thumbs. Of course, that final bit was talking about Harmonite.
Hmm. So I presume this will be the last official one for a while of Sega's games on consoles as well.
Could do, yeah, because like there was a lot of news that like Sega, well, not closing down, but like it was massive.
They are stopping they're just focusing on the mobile market and the PC market from what they've said. But
Yeah.
this could
Um,
be some one random person saying that. We never know. So.
Yeah, so I'm kind of sad that's not coming, but after seeing it, it does seem to fit with non-Nintendo consoles. I don't know why, but it just seems not to fit on Wii U, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, actually, for this last bit, do you know the Game BAFTAs?
Yes.
They were mind-boggling as ever because
Yes. Game of the
um,
year?
yeah, so it was really, well, not necessarily unfair because like that's a bit biased, but Destiny won the best game of 2014, which
Hmm.
is very stupid in my opinion.
I mean,
But upcoming Wii U release Never Alone won the debut award, even being Shovel Knight, which is quite weird. Um,
that's mental because I think Shovel Knight is definitely my game of last year. It's
hmm,
incredible.
um, Alien Isolation picked up audio achievement. Hearthstone winning the multiplayer gong, and the family game went to Minecraft console editions, which don't necessarily seem as family game. Like it's more family friendly game, more
Well,
than a
Minecraft, you can play Minecraft. And I suppose the same for Mario Kart, but they were
yeah.
nominated for a lot of these awards, just didn't quite get the final shout,
Yeah,
which
so
is sad,
it's
but it's just the way it is at the BAFTAs, unfortunately. It's
I guess so. But yeah, Smash Brothers wasn't even up for anything,
yeah, which is
which
that is
is
shocking at the end
very
of the day.
strange. Um, but there are people that would rather more mature themes, even if it's not better games,
Hmm.
honestly. But then again, that's just my opinion. Again,
Definitely, at least in the multiplayer player sort of section, there was definitely a place for Smash Bros in there. But
yeah. But I don't know why he got that. But yeah, mobile handheld category. I can't remember what it went to. I think Monument Valley, which looked quite an interesting, like a quite interesting indie game. That one mobile slash handheld, but no Nintendo game were up for mobile handheld. Which is
uh,
again just like so weird because you got Smash 3DS in there as well as Pokemon.
hmm.
Those are like two of the biggest. So it's just kind of weird.
I think that whole mobile sort of industry there, though, I think it's more focused on mobiles, as in playing on the mobile gaming. But
Yeah.
it does seems very strange to not have any inclusion of the 3DS games whatsoever. It does very strange.
Mm. I think that should be it for news, or at least for now. Next time I would say would be Friday 27th, where we're covering the news of that recent times. I guess. Um, so we move on to our next section. So here we are in the next section. What have you been playing? So, Gorney, what have you been playing?
As I mentioned, I've been playing a bit of Metroid Prime.
Mm,
Been trying to get through the first sort of section through there. A lot of the bosses I don't actually remember playing against before. I mean,
mm,
when I first played it was good. Oh, I can't even think that when it was now. Maybe a good 5, 6 years ago, maybe. And playing through that now, it's been a real good back stepping back into the game.
yeah.
But it's just the whole. My challenge with that is to beat Metroid Prime, the final boss,
Mm,
because I remember it being one of the most difficult bosses I've ever played against. Just could not beat it whatsoever. So to get that through that would be excellent. That's my challenge for the rest of the month anyway.
right.
Um, other than that, I've been playing Shovel Knight.
Oh yeah, I saw you completed it.
I've completed it.
It
The
is a good game, isn't it?
first completion. Then I realised there's a plus mode.
Yeah.
So I'm like, no.
It's
So
tough.
I've just finished it. But I've got to play through it again. So okay, so I started it over again. Then they decided to let us know that they're going to be releasing DLC
Yeah,
for
Plague Knight.
Plague Knight, but however, looking into it, they are on about doing 3 extra of the nights as well.
Really?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, I would imagine so.
I know King Knight is mentioned, they've been working on it after playing like DLC. So
You okay there? You sort of went fuzzy for a bit.
oh, did I? My bad.
Yes. We'll keep that in. We'll keep that in.
Okay.
I really did like Shovel Knight from the because for some reason I had this weird dismissal. If it's not a franchise, I know I sort of dismiss it. Like
Yeah.
this is the thing when I was introduced to Smash Brothers Brawl from my friend, you know, I would always go, oh yeah, because I didn't know how to play with Ike, you know, I would only play with specials.
Yeah.
So and since we were still in primary school, all I would do was like spam Kirby's down B, same with Pikachu. That's
Yeah.
all I would do, and I would only know like the Mario characters and stuff. I wouldn't,
Kirby,
I didn't even know even probably a quarter of them. Um,
but that's the whole thing with Smash though. I mean,
yeah, so like I really
it's a
thought no,
it's a massive
forget it.
marketing tool to sell off
Yeah,
the other characters and make you try out those other games.
yeah,
It's brilliant.
but the thing is, because I didn't know how to like properly play, you know, not even shielding, you know, only doing specials. That's
Mm.
why I wasn't really good with Marth. I wasn't really good with Ike.
Ah, okay.
Um, I wasn't too fond of using Pikmin as
Like
well.
counter attacking and things like that.
Yeah,
And
yeah. So I didn't even know what I did.
yeah,
So that's the thing.
I must admit, I've only just like found out what the whole Jigglypuffs like
Yeah,
one of the
yeah, yeah.
sequels was all about. I
I
never
found.
knew what that was about
Yeah,
whatsoever.
and it's
But
like that's the thing with Smash, which I've been playing as well. Um, if you once you need to know a character to like properly know because I find that Sheikah's a bit too fast for me, but yet um other characters man like Ness. I didn't see much use of Ness because of his up special. You know, it was hard to do. So it was like,
yeah,
oh, Ness is just horrible. And then I nearly every time I've been playing with him, you know, on Full Glory, I've been winning with him
oh
because
okay,
if you smash, like it's about around about 70, maybe just a bit lower, 65 to 70%. If you use the thunder into yourself, into your opponent, they go off, and it's like really good. And yeah, and it's just good. And same with Jigglypuff, you know, you could Jigglypuff's rest, the down
yeah.
B, can kill less about 55%. And if I didn't know
Well,
that, I may not have been as good with Jigglypuff.
having an 8-player match, all of us Jigglypuffs, and so many rests happen. It's unbelievable. It's just
Yeah.
so frantic. It's worth a go.
Yeah, but I've just realised we've gone off topic there. So back to my thing. So because I didn't know how to properly use characters like Marth or Ike, or from franchises I didn't know, I would always dismiss them and just say, "Oh no, they're just complete rubbish," and that applied for Fire Emblem and Pikmin. So when Awakening and Pikmin 3 rolled around, I was like, oh shit, fair enough. But then I tried the demo for Fire Emblem Awakening, and
Yeah.
I told myself this is actually really good. This is a really good game, and I bought it, and I really did like it. I think it was slightly overrated for what it
I'm
was,
not a
quite
big fan
frankly.
of Fire Emblem, I must admit, but
Fair enough.
I did like the predecessor of Advance Wars.
Hmm.
I actually really loved that franchise, and it just seemed to disappear
Yeah,
off
I
the
haven't
face of the
played
earth now.
Advance Wars either. And then when I picked up Pikmin 3 thanks to the Mario Kart 8 deal when you get a free game, I ended up really
Mm.
like Pikmin 3 as well. And I was just thinking to myself, why did I just dismiss these just because
That's,
I'm not good with those
I must admit,
characters?
that is a franchise I've never actually tried. Pikmin. I've never even played it.
Fair enough, there's only like 3, I would say. It is good. I haven't played it since summer, but it is a good game. Though short, so try and find a good deal. Um, but
I'll have a
yeah,
look into it.
yeah. But yeah. So back to Shovel Knight. You know, I would always dismiss it because I didn't know much about the franchise. I would always go, "Oh, you know, that's not." No, it's a very childish response, but for some reason, I always have the habit of that. I want to try and
Yeah.
get out of it. And
The,
that I have
the,
on Codename Steam as well. But once I played it, once I heard more about it, I realised that Shovel Knight was a very good game, and I really did like it.
I have really enjoyed it. I mean, it's a very
Mm,
retro NES sort of style game, and
yeah,
because I'm from that sort of generation of or playing those games, going back into playing a game of Shovel Knight, I can jump into so quickly,
Yeah.
and it's so fun to play. You've got to find all the secrets, find extra cash to buy extra
Yeah.
items. There's a lot more into it than seems easy, and it's really good game. I'm looking forward to the DLC.
Yeah. So I'm from the generation that obviously didn't grow up in that time. I would say when I started getting into games, it was with the first Xbox because I wasn't old enough to own my own one yet. So I didn't have GameCube. I wasn't introduced to Nintendo until DS. So yeah. So now that I'm like now that I'm 16, you know, I've been a bit older. I've grown an interest in older games as well. You know, like classic Mega Man. You know, I still have to finish Zeldas. I still have to finish the first Zelda, second Zelda, Link to the Past, Link's Awakening.
I've been playing Zelda 2 on my 3DS the last couple of weeks, trying to work that out.
Though I may not play it because I watched Game Grumps play it, so I may not be as fun.
Yeah, that might be right.
So yeah, but that'll probably be for the summer, once GCSEs are finished. I can't remember my original point now. Now I remember. Yeah, because I'll look back at it and it's like it doesn't. It's like the aesthetics and the personality of it does seem 8-bit and it works really well. But yet at the same time, for how well it's made and stuff, it doesn't seem like a NES game. You know, like even though
it's based on a NES game, but it's not.
Like
it's part of like they take parts of Zelda, they take parts of Mega Man, they take parts of Castlevania and other sort of games, and they just
Mega Man
was into one. And
it's most prominent for me.
Like, Mega Man's a big influence on that. Mainly because of the bosses are all different.
Yeah. So even though it fit NES limitations, it just felt and yet it didn't feel like a NES game, if you know what I mean. And that's sort of a good balance.
Something old and something new, as they say. It was a balance between the two.
I have also been playing, or rather listening to, the Super Smash Bros. For Nintendo 3DS and for Wii U Premium Sound Selection.
Oh, did you get it, did you?
Yeah, I got it.
I was 2 days late for registering.
Really?
I was so devastated, yeah.
Oh, then you would have got Mewtwo for free then.
No, I've still got enough time to register for that, because you can register for Mewtwo till the end of this month.
Oh, right. That's fine.
End of March, so.
But yeah, the CD comes with 72 tracks, 36 from 3DS, 36 from Blue, and it's pretty decent collection. Very well made. And it came with because you know how in CDs, if you take out the cover, you know it has all the song listings, stuff, lyrics and shit. It came with a special message from Masahiro Sakurai. With a signature and a little Kirby, and it was so cool. It really was. It made the whole thing more special.
For a little bonus, that is a really good selling thing.
Very generous.
It's very generous. We think how many of those they must have sent out to people.
For some reason, I see only 1 million. Yet that they would have produced like about 2 million. Because I don't know. But
is that Europe alone, or are they doing this in America? Do you know?
I think they're doing it everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yeah. But yeah, some of my favourites. Gerudo Valley on the 3DS version. Green Greens version 2.
Green Greens I could play again and again.
I love that. Trainer Battle from Pokemon X and Y. The remix in that is quite good.
Yes.
Captain's Song from Animal Crossing New Leaf.
Yeah, we've got to start singing that.
I love that song. When it was first played during the Nintendo Direct, 8th of April. See, I know my hit stuff.
Well, he's got his dates. Dates.
There's also Gal playing on 3DS. I love that theme as well.
It's a real good collection in general.
I go on. Battle Champion Cynthia from Pokemon Diamond and Pearl on Wii U now.
Is there any like real obscure ones on there?
Yeah.
that you wouldn't normally listen
Oh,
to.
yeah. Like there is. One gripe that I do have, kind of, is like I don't mind using remixes from past games. Like you've got Ocarina of Time medley. You've got
Yeah,
the Temple theme as well. You've got Corneria. All good. But I mean,
most of them from Melee originally, or Brawl.
yeah, overall, yeah. The other thing, some franchises aren't even represented. Like,
Okay.
for example, there's only, or at least, more songs aren't represented. Like, there's only, between the two CDs, there's only two, Yoshi tracks, only,
Ob-
only
Obstacle
three
course.
Kirby tracks, no Earthbound tracks, which is kind of surprising
No.
because, like, I'm not the biggest fan of, Magikarp theme, but it was a pretty popular piece of music. But I
On
really
it as
did,
well.
yeah,
It's
on it.
normally quite
I
popular.
love that theme, so I was really sad not to see it in Wii U version, and it's also sad not to see the normal Fire Emblem theme, you know, for Melee, which was the Together We Ride theme.
Yeah.
Yeah, what else?
That's
Yeah,
the only
so
other two songs I can think of I'd want on there would be Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, if that's on
uh,
there.
no, there's no Sonic or Mega Man. There's
No
Pac-Man.
Sonic Mega Man.
Yeah, there's on the 3DS there's a Pac-Man Club Mix, and on the Wii U there's Pac-Man's Park slash Blocktown, which I don't mind. And then there's also like a Pac-Man sort of retro remix, but there's no Mega Man, so that's very
What
disappointing.
about Dr. Mario, maybe?
Sort of. I mean, like if you're talking about like oddball Mario, there is a Mario Paint melody. I mean medley. Yeah. I don't know.
Yes.
I haven't played Mario Paint. I was very sad not to see the Nintendo Land medley there because I love
Oh,
that
it's in there,
theme.
is it?
No, it isn't. So I
Oh,
was
it
very
isn't in there.
disappointed.
Ah,
Other oddball choices. The Tetris theme is in the 3DS version.
because that's on
Um,
Luigi's Mansion stage, I think. If I
yeah.
remember correctly.
And that's a good theme, but you know, the Mysterious Murasame Castle medley is also in the Wii U version, which I think is where Takamaru, one of the assist trophies, originated from.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but yeah, at the end of the day, it's very high quality, very well produced as well. And it's a good, like even though it's not up for like with star points, it is like one of the best like final um stuff that I've got, or probably even the best I've got, because I've also got the Mario Galaxy soundtrack,
Okay.
as well as Super Mario 3D World soundtrack, which I would go to say is better than Galaxy, but then Smash Brothers beats both of them.
That's fair enough, though.
Yeah,
It does sound like a really good thing to have. This
yeah, it is.
nice little
Yeah,
collectible.
yeah. I can't really think of much else that I have played. Just
No, I mean, I've had
Smash
other than
lately.
those sort of the normal Mario Kart and Smash Bros. I think
Um,
it's
don't before I get the new Inazuma game. I'm trying to finish Majora's Mask 3D. Have you
okay.
got it?
I haven't got it yet.
It is good, especially with the announcements it's made with the new Nintendo 3DS, because you've got the circle
It
pad.
it does look really good. I must admit, from
Yeah,
seeing
it
I've seen it
is.
out
But
then.
the thing, I like it, but I sort of had trouble like doing stuff because of the time mechanic, and this is sort of the things I love hate with it.
Mm.
Because with the time mechanics, you know, there's one that requires you to enter a lottery, and then I think about later that day, you'll get the number, and if it's wrong, it will be added to your bomber's notebook, and it will say, oh,
Yes,
and then you just travel back in time and do it. I like that sort of thing,
it's
but
yeah. I
the
do
thing
remember
is
something
that
like that. Yeah.
I kind of find a bit of trouble with the bomber's notebook because it's kind of like confusing as well. And the thing
Okay.
is, like sometimes the room hints can be like so obvious, and then sometimes it can be so vague, which is a bit annoying. But no, I don't mind it. It is,
Is in that
yeah,
part of the challenge though to sort of try and work it out yourself from there.
Yeah,
I
I
know
know,
I know
but
we got the problem of the
yeah,
internet now, so you can easily go and
yeah.
search for it
But
on
the
there.
thing
But
is that I don't want. This is one of the problems I had playing Wind Waker HD. Obviously, not when I was playing Hero Mode in the summer, which I still have yet to finish. But when I was playing Wind Waker HD for the first time, um, I think it was right after I went down to Hyrule. Um, after completing the Tower of Gods and doing all that stuff.
Mhm.
Um, I felt confused on where to go because it wasn't directly shown to me, and it's like I don't mind it being slightly fake, but what King of Red Lion said to me was, "Oh yeah, we need to go to some place where a lot of people know what to do,"
mm,
and I just felt myself like a bit confused because I think
very vague, and you're not
yeah,
really
and then
sure
like
what's
it
going to
ended up
happen.
that I needed to find Cyclos, I think his name was, and then just shoot him with the arrows. Then it would give me a song that allowed me to go to any place, and then I need to go to a specific square that can only that could only be accessed by playing the song because
Oh, the
that
mother and child aisles, because you have to
yeah
fly to the.
um
Yeah, I'm with you.
to
Yeah.
get the fire night arrows, and I just
Mm.
found that like a bit annoying. And I didn't feel that I would have enjoyed it as much as I would have. Though that said, I did enjoy it much more playing hero mode because
Yes,
I
because the
yeah
hero mode, you don't get any hearts, do you? It's you don't find them
no,
in
and
pots
like
and things.
that's kind of a challenge. But I think it's also when I was playing hero mode, I also tried to fill my whole map as well.
Yes.
Um, But yeah, back to Majora's Mask 3D. I do like how the side quest was being a bit more implemented, and I do like how the characters actually have more personality. And it is though my kind of sort of gripe, though this is from not like a review standpoint, but like just the opinion standpoint, I guess, if that makes sense.
Mm.
The way I've been I messed up. The way I've been hearing about it for years now. It was like, oh yeah, it's so creepy and stuff. It's so mysterious stuff. And
It's a very dark game in
yeah,
general.
but
It's yeah.
for some reason I don't get that vibe. I don't know why. Like there is tension, like to get as much as you can in the 3 days.
Hmm.
And it's like it's annoying, but
I
it's
I
kind of
would
a good annoying.
suggest on that, get to the third day and start trying to talk to people, and then that's when you start to see the real darkness of the game come through, because you start talking to them
Yeah.
and they're all like, "Oh my god, we're all going to die," and things like this, and it's just
Yeah, so like
it's
that bit I
so
like,
yeah.
Um, but yeah, though I did like one mission that I still have yet to complete. Is you have to not felt, you have to help Romani with an alien problem, and you run
Alien
around.
Invasion. Yeah, yeah, I remember
Yeah, and
this. Yeah.
but I was still having fun with it, even if I failed. And when I failed, I was like, I didn't see, oh, I saw you for a bit there, like just
Yeah, I
to
don't know what
clarify.
happened there. That's weird.
Um, Um, so yeah, and even though I was having fun, shooting the arrows, apparently an alien got to the barn, which I was very annoyed with because I didn't even see them. And I just saw like all the cows just getting lifted up, and I was like, no,
No, not the cows.
exactly.
No.
And then Romani was like being pulled up, and I was like, whoa. So that was really weird. And then you just stand there, just going, I'm not bothered to just play a song of time.
Yeah,
Let's
it's
just go back.
just go and take all the cows, and we'll come back in a
Yeah.
minute.
So it's weird in that sense. But
Have
yeah,
you with that game? Have you slowed down time and speed time up
I
when?
always play the song of inverted time. I think when it
Yeah,
slows down. Yeah, I
to
always
slow
end
it
up playing
down.
that every time I set back the 3 days because
Because
um
when I first played that game, I didn't know of that. The only thing it tells you is the
yeah
scarecrows.
yeah, and like I got that when I went to the Astral Observatory. I think it
Yeah,
was.
yeah.
Yeah. Um, so that's how I knew. And
But if you don't talk to them and you miss them completely, it's like,
yeah,
oh, you missed quite a big part of the game. Really,
yeah.
it's
So
you need that to be able to finish it.
that's true. All these will be a big asset at least.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I'm also gonna try and finish the Pokemon Mega Ruby post game mode. I guess when you and you do a lot of stuff about Rayquaza.
Okay.
Rayquaza, I think it's officially pronounced.
Oh, whatever. Yeah, the big red dinosaur thing. Yeah.
Yeah, that one. You know your Pokemon, Connie.
Yeah,
Definitely
I
know
know
your
my
Pokemon.
Pokemon. I know Greninja, and
Really?
that's about all I need to know.
Well, at least you know my favourite Pokemon.
That's good.
Do you play Pokemon? No. Or,
I got X and Y when it first came out,
yeah.
and I played through that, and I really enjoyed it. I played Yellow back in the day,
Back in
and
the
Silver,
day.
but
um,
it's not really one of my. I wouldn't say it's one of my favourite games ever, but
fair
it's
enough.
it's still enjoyable. It's
Yeah.
on. I like the old competitiveness of it, but I'm not that
Yeah.
great at it, so
Um.
it's one of those.
Yeah. Um. I think that should be it. I haven't really been playing Wii U. Although the one game I do want to finish is Captain Toad Treasure Tracker.
Oh yeah.
Because I got it much earlier than I thought I would because game had it in stock early.
Yes,
So
they did,
when
didn't they? Yeah.
yeah, so I got that when I think it would have been Monday 22nd.
Mm.
Yeah, I would say Monday 22nd. And I got the game, and I beat the final boss, which was Wingo, like about the next day over like about around 7 hours. So I was very sure, and I felt a bit dissatisfied. But the one I'm really stuck on is Mummy Me Maze Forever, because
Okay.
what you do is that one of the additional modes you could get occasionally is a Mummy Me Maze, and basically you just have to clear floors. Um, basically running for basically a clone Toad. So basically, it's copying your every move. If you stop for a while, he'll catch up and then he'll hurt you.
Oh, okay.
And you have to navigate a small maze. And I do like that idea, but I think you have to get through 50 of them.
Yeah.
And I've been unable to do that for a while, and I haven't played it in ages
Well,
though.
let's say it as a challenge, and but by the time we record the next podcast, you've got to do that complete Captain Toad.
Fine,
That's
I'll try. I'll try. But then I think that there's like about at least one more level after that. You know, just a little more bonus. But yeah,
uh,
I did feel a bit dissatisfied with Captain Toad. Like for like small budget game, you know, like it was fair enough. But at the
it's
same
yeah,
time,
it was cheaper than some of the other games I've seen. I
yeah,
must
yeah,
admit.
yeah. But at the same time, I think it should have been around about £20 eShop title, sort of
Mm,
like Super Luigi U. If you know what I
yes,
mean, it's yeah. So it should have been something like that.
it's technically it is more of a game add-on than it is a full game because it's based on
Exactly,
the
the mini
3D
game
world
mode.
levels,
Yeah.
isn't it? So it's
So so yeah, I just felt a bit disappointed. It's like I looked at it, I was like, oh cool, I'm gonna get that. I really want to get that.
to be fair, it does use the Wii U pad quite well on there.
It does, yeah, especially in the minecart levels.
Hmm.
You know, and
And I like the fact there's we need some more games that can use it well, and I'm quite looking forward to Mario
yeah,
Party coming out soon as well. It's
yeah.
just so we've got some more use for that.
Yeah, I think Splatoon's gonna use that pretty well.
Hmm.
That's all gonna be playing in my summer. Splatoon, Code Name Steam, and Kirby and the Rainbow Paintbrush. Um,
Yeah, I think
those basically.
definitely Splatoon. That's definitely been the
Yeah.
next couple of months,
Um.
and the Mario Kart's DLC. So
Oh, yes, that as well. I can't wait for that one. Um. So let's move on to our next section. Hello, and why am I saying hello? Um.
that's
This is
definitely going
our
to the back.
this is our sort of discussion point of the podcast where we sort of not necessarily serious though just just talk about different topics in depth. We did do one on Nintendo's Kiddish Nature. We'll probably do return to that, but not for a while. You know, it's not great re-talking over the same stuff.
It's
Um,
difficult. It's
yeah,
difficult to re-talk about the same thing again.
yeah.
But
So
we'll try it in the future, maybe.
so today's topic is on Nintendo's third party problem. Um, so basically, the two sort of main questions. First being, what does it mean for Nintendo, the lack of third-party support? Uh, and the second question is, should Nintendo be allowed to rehash Mario and Zelda games? Or should they focus entirely on new IPs?
Wow.
That was a long pause. Let's start with the first one about third-party support. Gorney, would you like to start us off, please?
Um, well, as we know, Nintendo's sort of struggled this generation with their third-party support. I
Mm,
mean, when the Wii U first came out, there was a handful of games from Ubisoft,
yeah,
and EA had a few out, like Mass Effect 3 come out, and
yeah.
a few games like that. And I believe Batman was another one by
Yeah, yeah,
Rocksteady
yeah. And
or Warner
then
Brothers, whoever it was.
yeah, yeah. So that was a good amount there.
So there's a handful of third-party
Yeah.
releases on the thing, but they've lost a lot of support from them. We don't really know why. If it's just because of sales numbers, or if it's
Did you watch Game Theory?
yes,
So did you see the one where Wii U was basically the second Virtual Boy?
yes, I have
Yeah,
heard this before, and
yeah.
it's my argument with that is that technically the second Virtual Boy is the 3DS. That sold out very
Yes,
well.
but then
So,
again, the 3DS is actually successful and actually has good games.
hmm,
So, um, but yeah, the thing is that I think one of the major problems that like stood out and like actually made reasonable sense was not the sales as such, but also just the fact that you have to do extra coding to port for a Wii U console. So,
yes.
because at the end of the day, you could just put down like the logo on the gamepad screen, but at the same time, you still got to do extra coding for that probably.
Hmm. I mean,
Um,
the ones I can think
yeah,
of at the moment is like Shovel Knight. They got on the bottom. They have a infantry
yeah, yeah,
screen,
yeah,
so you can use that as an item sort of thing. But
yeah,
it's not really. You don't really need it. That's
yeah.
the thing.
Um, yeah, and I think a major thing is because even though I do the weird thing is that I see Wii U more hardcore as the Wii, and I think that's because of the controllers, especially the Wii U Pro controller as
Hmm.
well. Um,
It's
uh,
definitely trying to design it into having more
yeah,
players playing with those sort
yeah.
of controllers. Yeah.
Especially with like even if it's small, advancements in the online world. But yeah, that's another thing. I think online is a massive part, especially for games. Like because most third-party games now, well, not entirely depend on it, but I kind of
Well,
revolved around third party.
the
Well,
third party people in
online.
general, there are a lot of them, and they do sell games well. I mean, take the whole Call of Duty series, for instance. That is still technically a third party company,
Yeah,
and in Activision providing games for PlayStation and the Xbox.
yeah,
But those sort of games aren't necessarily suited to the Wii U, in my opinion.
yeah.
It just wouldn't work. It's just
That's
there's
true.
not that sort of genre coming into it. But I wouldn't say don't I wouldn't like to have those games on there, but
Yeah,
it's just not built around that sort of thing.
yeah. And
We've
go on.
we've sort of mentioned like the sort of family sort of getting together and playing before, and it's
Yeah,
I think that's the reason why there's less of these third party sort of games out there because they're too not what the whole brand want, not what they want to
yeah.
like support forever for the family
And
sort
like,
of idea. But there are some titles out there they are missing out on.
and
That's the
see, like,
problem.
the main point people make go, oh yeah, the Wii U doesn't have these games, this game stuff, and I go, oh well, your console doesn't have these games, and I would always use like a variety of genres in Nintendo's games, like you've got
Mm,
Mario, you've got Zelda, and so forth. But the thing is that like, and Reggie sort of said a similar thing as well, is that at the end of the day, it really does depend on your taste of games, because if you only restrict yourself to like action and mature games, you're not gonna buy a Wii U. Though if
no.
you're more open to Nintendo-esque games, you may end up with Wii U.
Mm.
Or if you favour more, not kiddish, but like more creative games.
I'd
Then
definitely say more creative because there are a
yeah,
lot of interesting games on the Wii U
Yeah,
and the 3DS
and
as
that's
well.
why I say, because like there's more exclusive titles on the Wii U, therefore it sort of has more value in a way.
Hmm.
And that's what Reggie said, I think sometime around last year, is that he said, "Oh, PS4, Xbox One, what's the difference? Wii U is the most play first," and I was like, "Oh yeah, I agree with that." But then I sort of realised quite a while after, at the same time, yeah, that's the bad thing because it is different. It drives people away from the Wii U, which is unfair in my opinion.
I
Because
think I think that sort of works both ways though, because there are some
yeah,
people that think, oh, that's something different. I might
yeah,
actually try that and see what it's like. And
but that's the
if
thing. Oh, that looks different. I'll stay away from it.
oh
You
yeah,
know,
I'm too
so
confused by that pad. What's that all
um,
about?
yeah, so but yeah, it's especially Bayonetta as well. Was good. Wonderful 101. We've got Splatoon as well. We've got the new Zelda, a new Star Fox as well. A bunch of like, have you seen a demographic of It was around about Christmas time last year, and they put up a demographic, and the title was "Great Games Make Great Gifts," and
Okay,
they sort of compared games from them with games on other consoles,
yeah,
and though, so they took games from Wii U and 3DS with games from PS4, Xbox One, PS Vita, um, and they listed all the games on their consoles that achieved 85 Metascore critic reviews scores
okay, yeah,
on average, as well as 8.5 average user score as well, and that those were taken from Metacritic.
Metacritic, yeah.
Yeah, and as it turns out, 19 games are Nintendo have 19 games on their systems, yet other consoles combined have only 8.
I think
Um,
that is the difference with Nintendo's first
yeah,
party titles. They are well
they are
I
very
can't
well
really
made.
say, and there's one bad game that they've made in the last 10 years. I'd
Yoshi's
say
New Island, maybe.
it's
um,
not bad though, is it? Because they still again.
it's just
This
like,
is the whole problem. This is the problem with Nintendo in general, because they just
yeah.
rehash the old game they had and try and add a new swing onto it. But
And what a segue into our next question, rehashing. Great, great segue there. Um, so yeah, when people just go, oh yeah, like all they do is just rehash Mario. In a way, it's sort of in the middle because it's the first time you can't just say, oh yeah, look at all these Mario games, you know. But at the same
okay,
time,
okay,
yeah,
okay, right.
yeah,
Let's take Mario on the NES.
right,
Yeah. Is that
yeah.
the same game that you've got now in terms of, like,
You
let's say
said
the last Mario game come out on the Wii
Mario
U,
Mario Bros. U. Let's just
Mario
say,
Bros. U.
yeah, that is a violent line, but at the same time, because Mario's popping up everywhere, you know, he's more or less the face of the industry. Yet I see that sort of failing now, you know, because more people are buying more mature games, so that's kind of bad. But in terms of the video game industry, you know, he is an icon. So when people
Definitely.
see Mario Kart, well, not Mario Kart, but like just Mario game in general, people go, "Oh, that's just rehashing Mario." But yet at the same time,
It still
uh,
sells bucket loads. That's
yeah,
that's the
because
thing. It's
yeah, and the other thing is the gameplay still differs from each Mario title, and I'm not just talking about 2D, but I'm also talking about other franchises like Mario Kart, the Mario Sports games, and so forth. Like last year, we also got Mario Golf World
yeah,
Tour as well.
Postal
That's
Tour.
vastly different from Mario Kart, and even more different from the main Mario series. And if you look at the Mario series, you've got 2D and 3D. 3D games are more different than the other,
Mm,
you know, and
definitely.
you got this more than just a 2D Mario. 2D Mario I could sort of understand. Yet, even though it is just samey, you know, I still buy it, you know. But
But
yep,
at
go on.
the end of the day, though, I think Nintendo in general, they like, if you look at the Game
Yeah,
and Watch console,
yeah,
if you look at that and compare that to a 3DS now, they look
yeah,
exactly the same. They've got two screens. They got buttons on the sides of playthings. They got a volume button. They look the same. They got the same design.
Yeah.
But the 3DS is brought up to this sort of generation, so it's still rehashing an old idea, but it's still improving on that old idea. And I think it's the same for each game as well. I know there are some similarities with the last couple of generations, but there's still new things getting added every time a new game's coming out. It's always something else interesting to add, keep you want to play in it. That's the difference I see. But,
and like, I think Mario sort of like gets the same thing because it's marketing in a way. Because like Splatoon was originally gonna be a Mario title before I had Inklings. Yeah, didn't you hear of this?
No, I never knew of this.
Oh
no.
my! Come on, Gordy.
I am miles away. So.
So yeah, it was originally going to be a Mario title, but since the ink theme fits so well with the squids and stuff.
I've got to say, after playing at Eurogamer, it does look interesting.
Yeah,
I'm really looking forward to it.
I can't wait for it. It's probably
as a competitive game, and we've seen it.
And just like a fun game as well.
But that's a totally new IP for Nintendo. There's not anything else like it. So it's not. They're not rehashing that idea. That's something completely different.
So like we're just gonna get to that in a bit, but I just wanted to finish up this point on that. That if it can be seen as a new IP, Nintendo will probably go for that. That's the thing, because Mario's an all-rounder, isn't he? Because he can do a load of things.
The way I've always seen it is the Mario and the Zelda games are there. They re-release them because they sell. But because of that, they use that money to try out the new IPs and see what works well from there. It's just marketing at the end of the day, and that's how businesses are run. It's just
and it's like, you
get stuck from there.
That's
it. That's the answer. No more.
It's, well, if you actually know Nintendo, like take Smash Brothers again, for example. If you take every franchise represented, even if it's just the characters, you've got a lot of variety of games. You've got the Mario, then you've also got Donkey Kong, which is actually very different from the Mario series.
Yes.
Then you've got Legend of Zelda series, the Metroid, you've got Yoshi's Island, of course originated from Mario, but yet the Yoshi's Island games are...
When Mega Man got announced the first time of the video, they released every single Mega Man game onto the Wii U console.
Did they?
To say, every single NES one anyway. Every single NES one.
I think up to like about 6. I would.
They are slowly adding Zero's games in there as well onto now, but it's just that's marketing sort of strategy. It gives people win, and it's
and the thing is, with newer franchises as well, you've got Kid Icarus Uprising, which was revived from the 8-bit days, and then you've also got Fire Emblem has also gained more momentum as well. Star Fox is coming back. You got Xenoblade Chronicles as well, which is the
Kirby's coming out in the next couple of weeks. Another good Kirby game.
But then again, that's not a new IP. But yet, in sort of the same vein as Mario, Kirby's sort of can
there has
change
been a lot of
into
Kirby
like
games.
different stuff. But back to my point on Mario being an all-rounder. If it could be seen as a new franchise, because if you're gonna have an all-round character, you because if you're gonna make a new IP out of every Mario spin-off, you got one for Mario Kart, and then you got one for sports, which goes through everything really. Then you've also got Mario Party as well. You've got and you've got Mario and Luigi. You've got Paper Mario. If
the main thing, take Mario Party for instance. In terms of numbers sold, Mario Party 8 sold 8 million copies for the Wii.
Yeah, and
8 million. That's a lot of number. Just to compare, in comparison, Mario Kart 8, the latest Mario Kart, sold just over 4 million.
Yeah, but then again, that's in less than a year compared to
less than a year. Yeah, but it's just still pretty decent. But it's just mental the amount of copies that Mario Party 8 sold.
But the thing is that at the same, this is sort of why I fear of Splatoon as well. If it did have Mario themes, it won't be the same, of course not. But then again, will that sell better down in Splatoon having the Inklings.
What do you reckon to DLC?
I don't like.
Ooh.
Like, I wouldn't mind Mario themed DLC, like Mario themed courses and stuff. But like, if Mario was to be in it, it's like, oh, okay, it's a bit weird, but
Amiibo
just...
support, you get your characters' costumes. It's going to happen, isn't it?
Yeah. Um, but yeah, like that's sort of why I fear, because they go, oh yeah, why isn't it like why are they not bringing out new IPs? But if you actually follow them, one, you'll notice that games in the same franchises can be different,
Mm.
and second of all, they are making new IPs. Sure, not as
But
many, but then again, that's if the project is interesting enough, and I think it
I
has
mean,
at least a good amount of potential. That's what I feel.
even if you're just doing 2D and 3D games in two separate genres,
Yeah,
there's still a lot more variety between them. I mean, take all the Zelda 2D games and the Zelda 3D games.
yeah,
Though they are similar, there are differences between them.
yeah. It's like even if there are like differences in like the 2D Zeldas, because they're mostly similar, you are still experiencing a new experience per se.
There's
Um,
always a new item to try
yeah,
out that you haven't had before.
yeah.
It might only be
Or
two or
like
three,
yeah.
but
Um, and that's the sort of thing with Pokemon as well. Like even if it is just the same formula, I the thing I love about Pokemon is just going on this journey,
mm,
and that's the experience. Like because even if it's coming out in nearly every year, it's just the setting as well. It's just being able to go on a journey, being able to go on a new journey that's actually different than the one before, is what I really like about Nintendo games. But when I see like FIFA, like about half of the people in my school play FIFA,
yeah.
and I just go, well, what about FIFA? That's just rehashing. Like, fair enough, you got to keep it updated.
It's
And
the
again,
same.
it's
It's the
just
same
business.
game with
Yeah,
different kits every year, basically,
yeah,
isn't it?
and it's
I mean,
like,
to be fair to them, they change the engine every 5 years.
yeah,
But
yeah. So, like, but then again, you got to keep it updated. That's why we've got games like Call of Duty and stuff.
that's why they make so much money out of those games,
Yeah,
though, because they
yeah,
literally
and
do as
that,
little to it as they can, and then just
yeah.
let everyone buy it again. So
Yeah, so like that's why Nintendo doesn't necessarily rehash games, because like let's put it this way, right? The Mario Bros series, right?
mhm.
Just the 2D platformers. I think they actually sell better than the 3D Mario's, even though
Yes, yeah.
which is mind blowing because the 3D Mario's like Galaxy, Galaxy 2, Super Mario 3D World, even all much better game.
Speaking of game theory earlier, they did do a sort of study on are gamers killing video games with the video, and
Right?
it's saying
Is
comparing the
is this
ones.
wait? Was this a video on YouTube or
Yes, from game
um
theory.
Trailer Drake or? Oh no, it's still like just general game theory. Yeah, I haven't watched
Yeah,
that one in ages.
but they're
Yeah,
saying the best selling games were all the 2D genre
yeah,
ones. So like, starting from Super
and
Mario
it's
Bros.
like,
On the NES, which sold 35 million, which is just like what?
mm. But then again, remember that that's still technically a new IP.
Yes, of
You know,
course, when it
and
first came
like,
out. But
well, I'll let
whereas
you finish
the
this
newer,
point.
the newer, more innovative games such as, I say, 64, Sunshine, Galaxy games,
Yeah,
they only sold like between 4 and 1 million. So it's just like, do
yeah,
gamers really need
and
the
it's
new
like,
IPs there or new
like
games?
Mario Bros. Wii as well, sold like about 30 million, I would say as well. You know, and yeah, and it's just Galaxy is much better than the Galaxy
Oh,
games
it's
are
it's
much better than
incredible game,
yeah,
Galaxy.
and
It
like
just it's.
I think it's much better than Mario Bros. Mario Bros. Wii.
I mean,
But if it's even if they
the
are
new
trying to be creative, people just go, oh yeah, this is better because I'm more comfortable with it.
because the original idea from that was from the Mario 128 demo they released a very long time
Yeah,
ago at Space World, and it's from that they developed the Galaxy games and the Pikmin games
yeah,
just to show off what they could do with the console.
yeah, and it's like
That's that
you know,
GameCube. The
yeah,
GameCube was showing off those sort of games then, but
yeah.
we've only just started getting them out now, and now no one's really interested in them. Now they're coming out so
Yeah,
late
and
in the day.
it's just kind of sad. And it's like, oh yeah, like people aren't interested in Nintendo games. And it's like, why are people so drawn to more mature games then? Why? Like, I can see, like,
Well,
why people won't buy Wii U as a primary console, even though it's a bit sad because you're only
you,
getting, like,
you,
one good game a year with
yeah,
PS4, Xbox One. But I don't see why there's not a possibility to have it as a secondary console. That's what my
definitely,
friend is doing
yeah.
like, because I think people are just, like people will go with Wii U. It's like, oh, he doesn't have as good graphics as the PS4 and Xbox One, even though it sort of does because it's still 1080p and 60 frames.
Not 1080, but yeah, it
Well,
is
there's
still
1080 with
HD.
some games, but I mean,
Some games, but
yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, so it's not the most powerful, but and like, and then there's the other
It's,
thing, which is actually kind of fair. Is,
the thing with Nintendo is they've
yeah,
always gone for gameplay over graphics
yeah, and
all the
like,
time.
that's the thing. And I think, the thing is as well because every game or near every game on the other on the Wii's competitors, they all have online features, and in addition to that, you have social chat, you have game chat while playing
Yeah,
games.
that is a
Yeah,
big.
it's their online systems are more efficient, and that's one of the things that draw
I
people
mean,
away from the Wii U.
yeah, Nintendo has improved on that in the last
Yeah,
couple of years, but it's still struggling behind
yeah,
them
because like
in online play. I must admit,
yeah,
yeah.
but at the same time, if every Nintendo game was gonna have online capabilities beyond just doing messages and me first, it won't be the same game.
No.
And like that's what I don't want to happen to Nintendo because you could
But
only have
again, it's
yeah
the family sort of ideal around the sofa, everyone playing together, rather than being online all the time. That's the sort of idea of from Nintendo originally.
yeah
But games are changing, and there are more people who can't make time for each other, and online play is the only way you can
yeah
actually get a game with some people. It's
yeah
just the
that's
way
the
it
thing.
is.
And that's sort of why I prefer local play over online play. Like, I don't know, it just feels different, and that's where
Mm,
Nintendo strives in as well. Even
definitely.
though like local play can sort of be done
The
over
best
online.
the best selling games the last couple of years have been Wii Sports, Mario Party, Mario Kart, games like that, and they're all games you really have to play together in a room rather than
Yeah,
online. I mean, Mario
yeah,
Kart's sort of a either way now, but that's the thing that the
yeah.
top selling game always family games. It always will be on that console. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, GTA 5 is definitely a family game.
Well,
Definitely.
you won't be able to get that one there either. There was a
um,
Grand Theft Auto game on the Game Boy. Did you know
yeah,
that?
yeah, and as well as DS.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so I just don't like people to just say like people just go, oh yeah, Smash Bros. They're just rehashing that. Like, it's just the fifth in the franchise, and yet at the same time, it's
Mm.
still a different game with
I
each
mean,
iteration.
Nintendo does struggle with that because they've got so many different
Yeah,
IP
and
series like
yeah, so it's
Mario, Zelda, Metroid, Kirby, Star Fox. Because they've got so many of those genres there, they've just got to
it's
keep
hard.
using
Yeah,
those IPs. So
yeah,
it's
so it's just keeping faithful. So it's like Trailer Drake, who's on the Game Fish channel, he does Smash History. On his own channel, he does unpopular opinions, and one of the videos he does, which I've sort of disagreed with the most, is unpopular Nintendo opinions.
Mhm.
And one of the things that either his guest did or he did, I can't remember. No, it was the guest. He sort of compared Nintendo to Disney because Disney have done new things as well, and it's worked out great. Some of the best movies like Frozen, Wreck-It Ralph, they've been really successful and they new ideas. And
Yeah.
yet in Nintendo, they're still doing Mario. And I was saying, well, I would disagree with that point because making new game IPs is so much more different than making new movie
Mm.
IPs. Because at the end of the day, you can't just keep on adding sequels to movies
Well,
because movies.
unless you're a horror genre where you've got
Oh,
like
yeah, but the
ten
thing with
Jason
movies,
X's.
like movies are much more plot orientated. So
Mm.
so you can't not just necessarily have just the same characters, in the same environment all the time. Like you could do it up to three, but like that, maybe even four, with Toy Story. But like that's sort of it. For movies, and original movies, not movies based on books like Harry Potter or anything like that. It's original movies, and that's the hard thing. Whereas games, that's why we wouldn't see many games that's why we won't see like another Order 1886, not because of the sales. Like the sales may do great, but not because of the scores it's been getting, but like because it'll be hard to if it did leave off on an odd note, or like if it did sort of secretly say, "Oh yeah, this is going to be continued," discreetly, then
Yeah.
it'll get a sequel. But if it didn't do anything like that, chances of it getting a sequel is low because you're not going to hit the end. The game
You
won't
need
look
to
interesting.
you need to develop an audience there until they decide to release a sequel. If there's
Yeah,
no interest, there's no point releasing one at the
yeah,
end of the day.
and
So
and,
that's the
and
problem.
yeah, and that's the thing with Mario and Pokemon because they aren't as story orientated. I could just do stuff and focus more on the gameplay changing as
Mm.
well, and yeah, making new IPs for you because they covered nearly every genre. Like
Yes.
they are doing shooter with Splatoon, but then again, at the same time, that's a person shooter.
Metroid was
Well,
when they
yeah,
released
that was
Metroid Prime
first
as a
point.
first person
Yeah, so
shooter.
like
It's
you could more or less name every genre, and then Nintendo's got covered with at least one game in that.
strategy,
Yeah, Fire Emblem, and then you got
Fire Emblem,
also got Pikmin as well. Um,
City Builders.
it's oh, that
I'm
classic.
I'm
Yeah.
trying to go. Well, they did have SimCity on the SNES, so that's
Yeah.
the best I
So
can go there.
yeah,
But
so Life Sim, get SimCity, and you guys also got Animal Crossing. So like, there's a
but
wide variety of like
mm,
genres that Nintendo has covered, and people fail to realize that. Mario's covered
even
like a good variety of
even like games like
genres.
Mario Maker coming out now, they
Yeah,
sort of design your
like
own levels kind of thing. That's
yeah,
something Minecraft-esque sort of thing, and
yeah,
they're trying to eat onto that market, and with Pokemon Shuffle as well,
yeah.
just
And
on the
it's like
3DS. It's,
if like there's when the sort of motto is true entertainment lies within individuality, and I think that's really true because like people would go, oh, Amiibo are just they're just copying Skylanders is Infinity. Well, no, they're not because they are even though they are using
they
like
are a similar
characters that,
idea.
that are already there. Because of that, it creates a more like sort of when like well, I would say bond between the buyer and the amiibo because you
Mm.
go, I'm not the biggest fan of Mario, so I may not get that one, but I really like
Well,
Marth, so I really want to get him.
if
And
they
with
released,
Skylanders and Disney Infinity, with Disney Infinity is sort of the same, but there's not much of a difference between them because all you do is just run around with that character,
mm,
you know.
definitely, yeah.
And then with Skylanders, it's just like, oh, who's he? He looks alright. I'll probably pick
I
him
mean,
up.
Skylanders is probably the most it's similar because you can use it for multiple games and they do multiple things. But
Yeah,
Amiibo just got so much more potential because
yeah,
there's so much more. There's so many other games
yeah,
out there. I mean, on the top of my
yeah.
head, there's about 10 to
It's
12
like,
games
yeah, and it's
which you
like,
can use it for.
and like even with each Mario game, they may be similar, but at the same time, they do seem kind of different. And if you look at
But
Nintendo, yeah, go
even
on.
though it's slightly copying, it's still like a new idea, a new thing they put in there to try
Yeah,
and liven up their games. Something different.
yeah.
It's
And it's like if you look at the main three platformers, you got Mario, you got Donkey Kong, you got Kirby. Even though we haven't got the traditional Kirby game on the Wii U yet.
I suppose you could
Um,
even add Yoshi on there, I suppose, as well.
oh yeah, so Yoshi because that's coming to Wii U as well. They are
Yeah.
all very different. Mario is sort of like an all-rounder, it's like the perfect platformer basically. Donkey
Mm.
Kong is much more harder and it's like much more environmental and it's much
You
more
got to
unique
think
in its
about what you're
environment.
doing.
Yeah, and it's you got to be more careful because
Kirby, you got to find the right abilities to do the
yeah,
right
but like
things.
but then again, Kirby is so much easy.
Well,
It's very
it
easy.
fluctuates in
Yeah,
Kirby. I think
it really
some
does depend on the
areas.
game,
Mm,
and same thing with Kirby. Kirby alternates between
that game
um
works so well as a multiplayer game. I don't know if you've ever played that, the 2 or 3 people or some of the other
Which
other
one?
games. But,
Um,
well, the Woolly's World one that's come out for the Wii
yeah,
was
I
or
might
whatever it's
get that
called.
one. But yeah, that looks
Pretty
alright. And then
good, yeah, pretty good
yeah,
multiplayer game. If
but
they can release another 4-player one like that, I'd be interested, definitely.
yeah. So yeah, I think we got slightly off topic, but like just
Yeah.
final statement. What is your final statement to people?
Though there are a lot of like similarities between the games, I think if you compare the whole series of each genre, there's always something different between each game.
Yeah,
They are always going to be similar because that's
yeah,
what people want. At the end of the day, those games sell more because that's what people want. They know what they're after. If you say Zelda, say I'm going to go buy a Zelda game, you know you're going to get a guy with a sword and a shield, and you've got some
yeah,
puzzles to work out as you go along.
yeah,
That's great. That's what I want. If you
yeah.
say, oh, I've got a Donkey Kong
Like
game,
yeah,
well, so on,
yeah,
that's the idea. It's just as long as you know what you want, Nintendo's got it covered for you, kind of thing. It's that sort of idea.
yeah. Um,
But
you go on.
but overall, it's going to be an argument forever, isn't it? At the end of the day, I
Yeah,
mean, there's always going to be someone saying, "Oh, I don't want that console because you've just
yeah,
get the same game every year," and then you just list off Call of Duty,
yeah.
Gears of
Exactly.
War,
Very good. Yeah,
FIFA. But every console does it
yeah. So
because they sell games. They sell well, you know.
and my final statement will be: don't judge a game, well, game's console, just by the company's mascot. Because if you look at Mario, you got a good amount of games on there. At the end of the day, that's all people see, in addition to Zelda as well. But if you actually look in depth to it, you got a load more. You've got Bayonetta, Bayonetta 2 even, Wonderful 101. You've got so much more, and you've got upcoming ones as well. So it's if you'd rather go with a normal next gen console, then well, I would say current gen now. If you would rather go with PS4 and Xbox One for your main, that's fine. But do not eliminate the possibility of getting a Wii U just because of how the sales are doing, or just because the games just look a bit rehashed, even though that's stupid.
But yeah,
So
that's
that
it basically. At
lasted
the end of the day,
for that's lasted for nearly 35 minutes. So that's a good discussion time, I think.
yeah.
My jaw
Good.
was hurting, so let's get on to the next section. So we are in the final section of Nintendo Podcast System, which I would say next time will be the community section. I have yet to talk to Gorney about this, but I've had this idea
Oh,
that basically we will just be suggesting to you what to do and stuff. What we've personally been doing, even if it's not necessarily gaming related, but like, just stuff we've found, that's cool projects,
oh, I do
stuff
have
like
one then. I do have one that I
that.
can
Calm down,
definitely
calm
mention
down.
here.
And also we'll be doing reader questions as well. Well, not I say reader because this has been inspired by the official Nintendo Magazine podcast, which ended ages ago, but I still say reader questions. So that's so weird.
Readers or socialists or
Listeners, listeners.
listeners,
Yeah,
wherever it's from.
listener questions. Um, so yeah, so community, what have you been doing, Gorney? Or what will you be doing?
What will I be doing?
Yeah.
Um, well, if people who don't know, I help run the Street Pass Southampton group, part of the Street Pass UK community, which is over 50 different communities around the UK.
I just realised we didn't introduce ourselves at the start of the podcast.
That's all right. We'll do it now. So
Oh,
we
yeah.
don't need to introduce ourselves. We'll do it now. It'll be all right.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'll do that. And our next event is the 21st of March, which
That's
is
this Saturday.
this Saturday coming. Yes.
Yeah.
So
Well, it depends on when this podcast goes up. I'm gonna try, but I have to do art as well.
it's not a
So.
problem. Not a problem. I'd say I'll just explain what happens with it. Basically, this event is going to be based around Mario Party 10, and we're just going to invite people around to the where we are and say, come play the game, come enjoy it, see what you think, and just casually play some games with other people, whether it's 3DS, Wii U, or any of the older consoles. I know we may have a GoldenEye session coming up the next couple of months with Street Pass Portsmouth. So so it should be interesting, and there's always more potential. And we always like to have ideas from the community about what we could do for next new events and so on. I know we have sort of got the plan the next couple of months of what events are going, but I can't tell you too much about that at the moment. So, but yeah, it's going to be an interesting sort of thing, and we normally do have quite varied sort of people come to events, and between ages of like 15 to up to, I think the oldest person I've seen there is about 40. So it's still a real nice community to be part of, and I'm really enjoying it so far. So.
Well, I would be going to the Street Pass London event on 5th of August, but since it's on Easter Sunday, I may not go. So that's very disappointing. But you know, if luck may be on my side, which definitely wasn't on Friday, Friday 13th. But yeah. Where this podcast will probably go on MP3 form is on original Nintendo blog. I think WordPress.com. Somewhere around there. I'll put a I'll see what I could do. For those of you who don't know, which should be most of you, I want to get into games journalism, and I thought a blog would be a good way to do it. I'm sort of alternating between a blog and a YouTube channel, because I do have a YouTube channel which is Ace Gibbo, but I'll probably remain inactive for then. But yeah, so basically what I'll be doing on the blog then will be reviews and stuff, occasional articles, but only occasional, because I still have to do a lot of stuff.
Busy kind of guy.
Yeah. As for what to watch, I guess I would kind of if you want to listen to more Nintendo stuff, you could always check out Nintendo Voice Chat, which is IGN's podcast. Gladly, it doesn't have the person that marked down Pokemon for too much water, so that's a plus. But yeah, I forget their names. Is Jose Otero and Otero.
Sorry,
others. Yeah. Go on.
Alternatively, we in the Street Pass UK community, we do have a podcast of our own.
Yeah, I was about to say,
okay,
which sort of rivals off from that. Yeah, so that's sort of how we met. Basically, I was in the Twitch team because, being the desperate person that I was like, should I ask for somebody to do it? And I just typed in the comments, does anybody want to do a podcast with me? And Gordon was like, yes, I'll do it, good sir. I was like, okay, good.
They were literally just like that.
So yeah, and we'll probably go to the Twitch live recordings if they do ever do another one.
Twitch/Street Pass UK.
Yeah. So I would like to say thanks as well, like 2 other thanks as well. Anybody that was on the official Nintendo Magazine podcast as well, because that magazine inspired me to become a games journalist. But since that's ended now, I would say the closest thing would be the rotating platform, which the previous editor-in-chief, Matthew Castle, goes on. It's not Nintendo based, but still games. He's a good lad. I would love to have him on the show. It will be really cool. And then there's also another podcast which sort of inspired me to do this. Is the Digimon I said the Digimon Rewatch. So again, for those of you who don't know, I really do like Digimon. It was very close to me in my youth, though I only watched the first 6 episodes and the movie 5 times in one night. When I started rewatching it lately, I also listen to the podcast as well. It's just basically two guys that just talk about the Digimon series, the original series, the near only good ones, the near only good series to watch of Digimon, because I do like it. It's better than the Pokemon anime, in my opinion. It's more story orientated. People die. Well, not people, Digimon die. So yeah, I would like just say a special thanks to Rotation Platform, Digimon Rewatch, and Tree Pass UK podcast.
Cheers, guys! Yeah.
Any thanks you want to give this podcast, Gorney?
Well, just thanks to Joe for following the Twitter page.
Oh yeah, hi Joe.
Hi, Joe.
Our
The
only
Twitter
fan
page
thus far.
Yeah, well, other than ourselves, obviously, but that's a bit weird. But
Yeah.
yeah. So anyone who doesn't know the Twitter page, the link is Matt. It is.
N podcast system.
So if you just follow that at
Yeah, so,
podcast system, you'll find us on
and
Twitter.
also, the podcast will be up, as I've already said, original Nintendo blog.wordpress.com. I think that's what it is. There'll be a link in the Twitter. That seems weird. But yeah, yeah, in the Twitter account. You can also find us, the podcast as well on SoundCloud. I made an account and will probably go up on there as well. I'm trying to do it on not YouTube. Well, on YouTube as well. Again, at Nintendo Podcast System, and I'm trying to do it on iTunes as well. Though I'm kind of confused with the whole RSS thing. So I'm trying to do it.
I'll help work it out anyway. Don't worry, we'll sort that out.
Yeah, you'll work it out.
Yeah. You
can find me at AceGibbo on Twitter. AceGibbo, ACEGIBBO, as well as on YouTube as well. And Nintendo Network ID is AceGibbo as well. Gorney, where can people find you?
My name on there is Gawny7789. That's GAWNY 7789. That's on Twitter, on Wii U, and you can also find us on Facebook. And also follow Street Pass Southampton and Street Pass UK, which are our two groups we sort of work from. Okay, yeah. That's all.
Yeah. I think that should be it for now. Next recording, I would say, would be March 27th. Release date of Inazuma 11 Go, Chrono Stones, Wild Flash, Thunder Flash, and Wildfire. Those. Wait, did I say it right then?
Probably. I'd say yeah.
I don't know.
We know what you're on about.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll see you then. Well, not see you, but you can listen to us sort of there. Make sure you get in. Oh yeah, and email as well. This has been a poor exit. Email at original. No, not original. Nintendo Podcast System at gmail.com. That should be on Twitter as well.
Yeah, we'll link that on there.
Finally, this has gone on for about nearly 2 hours. I don't know. Give me something to listen to on the way and from school tomorrow. Just to check it up. So once again, thank you, Gorney, for joining me on the first ever podcast.
Woo.
What? No, the first ever episode of Nintendo Podcast System. Until next time, bye.
Bye.